the Leroy Slava Podcast. Conversations with entrepreneurs that inspire and experts to admire. Now, if you enjoy these podcasts, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to receive updates of future podcasts. So today we talk to Micardo Cupido. He's a serial entrepreneur, guys. He's the founder of KhoibrewMzanzi Creations. He's an organizational development practitioner. He was in the presidency. Now, all of this I just heard before the interview. Hey? He's a community leader. We just found out he was a pastor. He has a brick plant. What else, Micardo? What am I missing out? You gave me a few things. This was just before the interview, guys. So now what I have to do is I have to scratch all my questions, and I think we're just going to freestyle this now. Yes, Micardo, welcome. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Your hands are nice and warm.
Yes, it speaks of my heart. Yes. I worked on a project reporting to the presidency, which was focusing on youth development in South Africa.
Yeah.
And I think growing up, there were a few options available. Either teacher, police officer, nursing, or predikant. And because I loved Sunday school, I loved church, I loved singing, I loved being with the believers.
With people.
So my mother was a very strong influence in my life growing up. Sy was mos in die moeders gewees, so elke Sondag moes ek maar tag along na die moeders meetings met haar. But she always, even when she used to give me a idea and say, elke hulp wat sy gegee het, dan sê sy, jy gaan nou predikant word, maar jy is so stout. And I ended up there, and it was a good journey in the Methodist Church. And like I shared with you before the session, that there's the two types of ministers we have. There's the non-itinerant one and the full-time minister, clergies, and I'm the non-itinerant guy. Those of us who are in the corporate space, but we give our time to the congregation or to the church, the circuit, like we put it. And I've been in the entrepreneurial journey actually when the organization went through restructuring. So there was this voluntary retrenchment. I've always been doing some side
now for government
stuff like that. Yeah, government, and I enjoy that season thoroughly.
Is it?
In the sense that you're living out your passion, and that is to bring services to local communities, to rural communities, to townships, capacitating young people in the areas of skills development, which is normally the soft skills, entrepreneurship education, which is through giving them opportunities to turn their business ideas into actually businesses, including funding support and mentorship support through the then Umzabongo Youth Fund, which is now the National Youth Development Agency, and through study opportunities. NEFSAS and the Solomon Mahlangu Scholarship Fund that time had a fund that says if you are a young person, your parents is in that income bracket and you have done so well in school, we will pay for your first degree, accommodation, travel, and those kind of things. And so those are the three core areas where the youth development industry that was reporting to presidency focused on. So after that season, I went and registered my company and I got involved in the training space.
When was this now?
2014, 15 around about
That's when you took the voluntary retrenchment.
Yes.
2014.
Yeah, 14 into 15.
Yeah.
And it's been a rocky ride. Because
let's give us some of the challenges and give us some of the successes.
Let me tell you the truth. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not about driving nice cars. It's about those nights when you lie awake and stress about paying bills. The sheriff knocks on your door, the courts knock on your door, and especially during the pandemic, my car was taken, it's fine. I will just get another vehicle.
It's a difficult time, eh?
It's a difficult.
I always say if that 2020 didn't kill you, you're not gonna die.
Yeah, and you know what? It's okay. We make different decisions. We have a different set of information and experiences at hand to say, next time I will never buy a car and do payments. I will just buy the car that I can afford. That's where I'm at.
So entrepreneurship is not Instagram. Because Instagram looks like everyone making money and on jets and traveling.
My goodness.
And you take the photos.
Hey, and the guys like to say the hustle is real. Look what God has done. You know what? It's about, there's times that you really have to, for lack of a better word, prostitute your skill by basically doing something that covers petrol money and keep the internet on. And I've come to a point where I said, no, I'm not going to disrespect my industry. This is my fee. And because some people come with what they want, with a budget that doesn't meet what they want. You say, okay, this is the budget.
Yeah.
This is what I can do with your budget. And if you say that's what you have, and I say it's okay, it's fine. Maybe someone else can, but I'm not going to do an injustice to the product and the service that I'm delivering by taking an amount that I know I'm going to crunch in the work. I'm going to do second hand. No, it's a reflection of who I am and the standards that you uphold in your industry, and obviously the other guys in the industry. So imagine I charge 500 Rand for a wedding photo shoot, for example, and I know this is the rate out there. So I'm actually compromising the other guys in the industry to come down. You know, and it's unfair.
So I was
because
having this
it's
conversation
not about
yesterday.
owning the camera, it's about the how many years of skills that you have. It's about, you know, the post-product, the editing work. Your camera guy will tell you. When you sit there in Photoshop, Lightroom, DaVinci or Blackmagic and all those platforms, you spend hours and hours of refining and ensuring it's a good product that's going out there. That's why I just say no to video work. It's a lot of work. I will get someone else to come and do video work. But yeah, so that's on that front.
Property Pick is not a typical property listing platform. It is a property investment platform for first-time or seasoned investors looking for good investment properties in South Africa. Property Pick is also ideal for motivated sellers who want to sell their properties fast. Your first listing is absolutely 100% free. There is no catch. Join our community of property investors and sellers and let us help you along your journey. Go to www.propertypick.co.za and subscribe today.
But I think let's stay there. I think let's stay on
KhoibrewMzanzi.
Why the name? The name is interesting in its
First
own.
Nation people, descendant of the First Nation people. Don't tell me about the whiteness and the blackness in me. All I know is that ek is a descendant van die eerste nasie mense van Suid-Afrika. En ek dink in honor of my heritage and who my ancestors were, I say brew for breweries, because I want to still do my own coffee and my own craft beer or something like that. Craft beer, definitely. I have
nice
the distiller is waiting for me. I just need to raise the money. And yes, I'm not going to share my recipe, but it will be a good product that will KhoibrewMzanzi. So yeah.
So it's gonna be the holding company, which will be the breweries, the coffee, the content creation.
Yes.
What else comes
Consulting services.
Training
small businesses, because I have a passion for the township economy.
We keep on hearing about this township economy. Everyone's so excited about the township economy. I spoke to my first guest when we started again with the face-to-face, and he says the township economy, but he was negative. He says there's no opportunities because it's tenders, and I thought to myself, but that's not the township economy. Everything is township economy is the stall that sells vegetables, the guy that sells perfumes, the taxis up and down,
the welder, the guys who make aluminium frames in the township. They can take all the services to the township. We briefly spoke about, the paper towel, toilet paper, and the what do you call that? Cloths. But yeah. Not sanitizers, wet wipes.
Wet wipes.
Get that to the township. You can.
They say
put
township people don't want to pay. Is it true?
Nah. Let me tell you, family and friends don't want to pay. Family and friends don't want to pay. I was invited to a birthday party, and after I confirmed, family, friends, I'm talking to you. My biggest supporters should be you, and you. And then after I confirmed, they say, okay, bring your camera with. I say, oh, you need to send an email to the company. I can't just decide.
Yeah.
I'll antwoord ek 'n e-mail.
Yeah.
So check if the equipment is available.
Mm.
But I'm coming as a guest and having a good time. So and if I come and take photos, I will be in my uniform, KhoibrewMzanzi,
Okay.
and come and work. I don't even touch water. And because you are on your feet the whole time and you're worried about your gear and drunk people don't bump into your stuff, so you're not enjoying yourselves. You know, and let me tell you, I have a few friends and family members who understands that and who honors that and who knows that this thing pays the bills, this thing pays the debit orders, and they respect me for that. And it's fine. Some just get angry. It's okay. It's okay. We're still family. I still love you as family.
Yeah.
Doesn't change the way how I feel about you.
But then it becomes awkward.
It becomes awkward, yes. But at least I have a firm view and I live by it. Teach people how to treat you. The relations doesn't have to be difficult. We make it difficult because we don't teach people how to treat us, how to respect each other. We teach people. And so it's
people treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Exactly. And so it's a mindset thing. There's money to be made in the township. Township people do pay. The township economy, the value of the township economy, that was a couple of years ago. If you just take the Cape Town, for example, the Western Cape, the cash is about 6 billion that's rotating there. In the townships, you know,
in the Cape Flats.
And they say to our people of color, if you just hold your rand back for 2 months, Grand West and Canal Walk and all those places, those shops will close down because it's your money that's going there.
We can pay if you.
You know, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't buy some of these retailers, but we can bring those services to townships. For many years they said, no, we can't put a McDonald's in the township, we can't put this service in the township. Yes, you can. You just don't want to.
But they do in black townships, they don't do in colored townships.
They do.
Like,
Some of your
malls and
yes.
if you go to Tembisa, you'll find there's a lot. There's nice malls. But it's obviously the market. The bigger townships have.
Bigger townships, and obviously, black people in South Africa is 70-80% of the population.
Yeah.
You know, will I come and put my services in a community where there's less than 12% of the population to benefit from my services? Put them a huge mall like that. So those are some of the dynamics around those kind of things. I'm just thinking from the cuff. If I would put up more, I would put it where the majority of people.
Where the people are, where the customers are, where the demand is.
The customers and demands, and a lot of malls are running empty. I was saying to that guy from the Western Cape, in one of the MSCs, Mackenzie, he was taking pictures of Sandton Mall last week. He was in Sandton saying, you know, the economic hub of Gauteng is dying. Look at it. I said, but you're talking about Sandton. It's not the economic hub. That's brand name clothing stores that's closing down.
Are they closing down?
The many of them are closing down. When we talk about the economic hub, we look at and I like what Panyasi Lesufi, the former MEC of Education, did when he designed the corridors of education. The east of Gauteng is put up those smart schools. You know, while AfriForum was bragging about the 450 million rand university, he put up a few schools, more than 450 million. But anyway, moving right along, so there's a aircraft with an engine for aviation, a school in the eastern end, and in the north, Pretoria North, which is the automotive industry, is put schools there where motor mechanics are part of the curriculum. You know, there's some kids in Soshanguve, they built a train on solar going 60 kilometers an hour. This is part of the good story. This is why
you're very positive about our nation, eh?
I'm passionate about Africa. I'm passionate about my people. We live on good junk. When they downgrade us to junk status, business is not good for next to nothing. But anyway, we live on good junk.
What does that mean, we live on good junk?
You know, when they downgrade our countries and say it's crime, it's this, it's corruption. I'm not sure if I should say this on camera. Your country is more corrupt than ours. You know, exactly. You've killed more people than what we've killed. You've wiped out nations, man. you monopolize economies, you know. To you, oil is thicker than blood. That's why you put your armies in those countries. And so when I say we live on good junk, the minerals that we produce and the contribution we make to the world from our minerals, you know, you don't own the amount of mines that we own, but you have Standards and Poor and all those institutions who come and grade us. Where are you, by the way? In the Pentagon somewhere.
Yeah.
But you come and downgrade us here.
Who gives you the
There's over how many 600 American companies in South Africa. If this was junk, you would have taken your business away. You're making your money here. You know, I like what some of the countries are doing. Namibia is starting to do this. Uganda is doing this. They're saying to Telstra, no, you're not taking the raw materials. We're opening a lithium factory. We will sell to you, Elon Musk. Lithium batteries.
Yeah.
The value chain of the economy. You know, we keep it in-house. We sell the raw product. They go and polish up the raw product. They come and sell it back to you and say, I'm afraid I'll give it you for a good price.
It's like Gayton saying, he's saying, we've got all the minerals. Why are we poor? Why do we have unemployment?
Exactly. But he knows why we have unemployment.
Yeah.
His friend Rob Hershef and those guys. Anyway,
so where do we? So township economy. Do you get a lot of business from townships? From the township.
Those are my top clients.
Is it?
Those are my top. I put up my signs in Soshanguve, Hammanskraal, Garankuwa, Mamelodi.
And you are from Easters.
Ek is a Cape Townian, my bro. What kind? I live here for 20 years now. My first station, that was when I started in the Methodist Church, is in Eldorado Park. Moved to the West Rand, Bergbron. Then I moved to Pretoria 3 years ago, Pretoria North.
Hoe dink ek is van Easters?
Ek het baie poor chommies. Een van my beste vriende is vandaar. En ja, en so yeah. I have here and there some clients when I do some drone work, you know, for some of the suburbs. I come and inspect their roofs when they install solar or do some construction. And then I will do some roof inspection, send in the footage. Is baie goedkoper as jou scaffolding.
That's interesting. So ek het gedink is net die drones is meer vir videos en vir so dat dit kan op construction sites.
Let me tell you, security. Mining spaces. Obviously, 2020 government, we send them an email. Say, listen, let's help you with the cable theft and all those kind of things. Let's deploy some guys with drones. It doesn't take an hour to steal cables. It's more than an hour. If we can rotate throughout the night, setting up a drone for 20 minutes or 10 minutes to monitor those hotspots, you know, it contributes to safety of the community.
Drone services.
Yes, and working with your CPF's Community Police Forum. So I'm part of the drone forum in Pretoria. And the chairperson of the drone forum is the CEO of Beyond Drones. Shout out to, I think it's Levin Prinsloo. Highly skilled, she's got her own drone company, fully licensed, and she is also a reseller of DJI drones in South Africa.
DJI means what?
DJI
I don't
is
know
one of the
anything
best
about
drones. We do your cinematic drones, your agricultural drones, your security drones that they use for policing. Those were the, they call it the radars, sensors, picking up with the heat sensors. People getting lost on hikes in a fire. You send up a drone. That drone can hover about 500 meters above the fire and can see you, scan you in the smoke. It's cheaper than sending out a helicopter with a bucket of water.
Oh wow! And you talked about the drone economy. And I heard you said something interesting that you need a drone line, which I did not know. I had guys doing photos here of actually the architect of this project that you're on. They came and they did photos and drones, and they had two. They had a cheaper drone, and then they had some drone which is more expensive, 5K or 6K. I don't know what the case. But anyway. And then you said you need a license. I thought you just buy a drone. I buy a drone on Takealot. They send me the drone and I fly the drone. Not. Yeah,
you know some of those drones, the little drones that they have. It's for leisure in the privacy of your space.
You can use
I think not higher than 20 meters above your head is the law. There's some of the bylaws, the Popeye Act. You know, you need to, even when I go do a wedding, you know, I need to produce my RPL, remote pilot license, and all those kind of things. You know, and, so those kind of things. I mean, if you fly in the beach or in a park, that people walking there, I don't have their permission, and I need to be 20 meters or 50 meters above their head at least.
So the proper act. Okay, now
so we are trying to negotiate to say, listen here, for us businesses who's not making a killing every day using a drone, because my drone is event specific. Some people book a drone, some don't book a drone.
How much does a drone cost, and how much is it to hire a drone?
To buy a drone, if you look at the DJI, the one I'm using, the Air 2S, 4K to 5.4K video capabilities, you know, sensors, that's good standard for entry level for Netflix, including three batteries, because battery lasts about 20 minutes. It's about 27,000.
Okay.
It's got sensors.
That's a good drone.
Yeah, it's a very good drone. I do mountain biking. So when I fly my drone, I tag myself, and the drone will just automatically follow me, going through the trees and all this kind of. Yeah. It's really, really nice. There, the drone follows me. Okay. So I'm on my bike. The drone follows me the whole time.
For how long?
Just probably for 20 minutes or so.
Yes,
so there was just testing. But yeah, so you do a car chase. I can tag the car. The drone will go on autopilot and follow the car.
So these drones are for construction sites, they're for movies, they're for photos, they're for weddings.
Different types, yes.
You do roof inspections, you do, I don't know, what else can you do? It seems like you can do so many things.
Look, like for example, we're pitching to one of the news companies, content providers, to say, listen here, if there's a march, if there's a protest or something like that, let's come and do some drone footage, because some of the people in the march, they will attack reporters, cameramen. So with me, with the drone up there, I can monitor a march, I can monitor a protest, I can look at some of the exits of the town to say if it's safe or not, people barricading. So that's some of the stuff we can do with drones. Taking some beautiful landscapes. Okay, I haven't done, but this is my bucket list, to do your Kruger Park, Botswana, the big migration in Tanzania, and you use drone footage, and you can sell beautiful canvases. You don't have to go to Mr. Price home. I can take it. Show me your house, look at your style and your furniture, and we will capture images. Everything from people in the car seat.
This is so interesting.
To outdoor.
And the cost, what would the cost be of doing?
To get out a drone pilot for the day and do some shooting for anything between 4,500 to 6,000. Then obviously when editing happens, the video guys knows we charge extra. If you want a jingle, if you want just raw footage, you can go up to 15,000 for the day. You do a movie, so yeah.
And is it becoming busy? Is it becoming popular?
Look, because not everyone has a license, it's difficult to find a licensed drone pilot. A lot of people are still just flying for leisure. Many of us will just take our chances and just go and fly and give someone some content. But if they see somewhere my content is there and I cannot produce my qualifications in that space,
in trouble. What can happen to you?
It's a 50,000 rand fine.
So if I buy a drone and I just fly it around, I can get a 50,000 rand fine. Who's going to find me? The police?
Police will find me.
Police don't care about these things. Police have more.
I was flying somewhere. I was flying somewhere in Polokwane. I was doing an unveiling, the drone. So 5 o'clock you're there, the graveyard. You do the sunrise and everything. People prepare the graveyard.
People are getting fancy,
you you hover around. You put a nice package together for them.
It is actually. I was at a funeral in where they had the drone thing. I'm thinking now, and we couldn't understand why would you have the drone. Yeah. But it's the police were rather so excited. They say, "Wow, let me see." They didn't even ask me for anything. And,
so yeah, but so it's a Like I said, for those who want to buy drones, DJI is some of the best. There are some other Asian, but most of the guys, if you look at the film industry, DJI. There's a 20-year-old young man. He's in the USA. He does like the high-speed chasing, the cars rolling. He is so good. We call it what is it? FPV, first person viewing, with the goggles on. As you see the car rolling, like in that guy's Fast
and
Furious,
Furious.
and you see the car roll, it's the drone basically going all those little, but he's very good,
You need to
extremely
know what
good.
you're doing there.
That drone goes under the car as the car's rolling, turning around, following,
And
going
he's,
into
and
the-
he's on a remote
he's
somewhere.
sitting there in a room and just
And just
some of
It's
those
like
drones, that drone is goes 95 to 110 kilometers an hour, very good drone. Then you have like racing, they use that for racing also. So there's a big
it's actually
economy.
big
But
economy
what
and
we're
a
saying is
wide
the
range
value
of
chain of that
clients
economy.
that you can get when you
I
have
cannot
it.
just milk the cow and sell the milk to the guy who's taking the milk to the shops. What about the value chain of the milk? The other products that comes from the milk, there's the cheese, there's the cream, there's all the other products. So let's keep the value chain here. And what is it that we can manufacture? We've got amazing TV colleges in this country, engineers in this country. One of my friends in one of the colleges in Cape Town, a couple of weeks ago, he was at the Skills Summit in Singapore with township ladies from the Cape Flats who are studying at Fosbury, Northlink and all those colleges. South Africa's toolmakers, they're in the top 10 in the skills, those competitions. And we come back and we just become employees.
So why are we not building stuff? Why are we not building?
We do, and there's a lot of things that's happening in our country. Unfortunately, many of the media platforms, whether it's your Amarula media and political voices, they will tell you how useless this government is. They will tell you they will bring God back. I didn't know God left, but anyway, let me not go into that conversation. But what are you going to do to grow the economy? Growing capacity. Mzanzi right now is growing about 30,000 artisans over a period of time through the TVET colleges. Kids in construction, kids in motor mechanics. Finally, young girls are also in that spaces.
Sounds like you're very happy with the ANC.
I'm not happy with the ANC. I'm happy with some of the things that's happening in our country. I'm very on
Blade is
I'm talking about my province. I'm
Yeah.
talking about my province in education.
Yeah.
You
But if there's good things that they do,
played a
we should
leading
also
role.
talk about the good
Yeah.
things. We shouldn't also just talk about the bad that's happening.
Yeah, and I think our democracy thus far in 28 years, 30 years, people who like to say 30 years later, and how it was better under apartheid. I used bucket toilets in apartheid. 34% of black people had electricity in apartheid, so I'm not sure how better it was. But 30 years later, we have dropped the ball majorly, and that I'm not apologizing for. We have disappointed voters big time, majorly. But does it mean we discard the good that has been done? I live where I live because of this 30 years. You live where you live because of this 30 years. I participate in an economy where I was excluded from because of this 30 years. 10 million children goes to non-fee paying schools because of this 30 years. That 10 million children are on feeding for free daily at non-fee paying schools because of this 30 years. More black and youth of color are studying at universities because of this 30 years than before 1994.
I like the way you look at it. You look at the positives and not just... And some will just focus on this is not done. This is ESCOM. So me, myself, sometimes is this ANC is a mess.
Yeah,
and we forget there has been a lot of good.
Brian Molefe was corrupt, they say. He went to the Zondo Commission, but he kept the lights on. The other guy after him, he got a 7 million salary, and he left you with a book. You must read in the dark. But anyway, what I'm saying is that where we find ourselves when we look back, because I'm in organizational development, in organizations there's the cycle of organizations is norming, forming, storming, performing, and I think reforming in marriage, in relationships, in whether even it's in your church, in your company. We are in storming.
In storming, what does that mean?
We are in a dip as a country where we really need to do introspection and take an honest look at where we are, where we have failed, and not say sorry but fix it. South Africans are tired this promise and that promise, but there's also here and there progress, and the progress is just not enough. And I don't want to talk politics, but I'm very positive about where we are as entrepreneurs. Last year, the township economy was signed in July, meaning that those of us who've been excluded from participating in the economy in Gauteng will be the prioritized capacity, help you to register companies, help you to be absorbed in procurement opportunities, whether it's government encouraging corporate Gauteng corporate companies to come and get services from the township also, not just from those who's benefited all these years.
But it is good. I myself have experienced. You know what? Someone said white people only get white people only get the opportunities. You know, this whole white. I said, but for us, I mean property. So I'll buy a property, I'll get funding, but I'll get an equity amount because I'm black. So you'll have to put 20-30%, and they'll give you like a 10%, 10%, just to help you. Get the. Are
you talking about through your CFAs and those?
No, this is not actually bank. This is banking. The treasury. The treasury gives, for these developments that we do, the treasury gives the bank a certain amount of money to help black people get on the property market, and I get some of that. When I do my projects as well. But thanks, man. You actually encouraging me.
Oh, look at the National Empowerment Fund. Supporting people in construction, the Small Enterprise Finance Agency. You know, for those in construction, those developing, because when you develop property, when you develop infrastructure, you're also contributing to the local economy. You're contributing to opportunities for employment for people. So those are some of the systems.
NHFC, the GPF, all these.
Yes, thank you to Gauteng Enterprise Propeller for my branding, my brochures, my car magnets, my websites, my clothing. This is Gauteng government who paid for this.
Now tell me something. Now someone's listening to this, they're sitting, they're feeling discouraged. They're saying, listen, you know what, South Africa is going to the dogs.
Hard work pays.
They're saying there's no opportunities. They're saying, listen, I'm giving out my CV to 1 million. I'm sitting here. What do I do? Give me some advice and give me some encouragement. What do I do? I'm sitting in a Vega Park. I'm sitting in Cape Flats.
I think that those of us who have opportunities or access to opportunities, let's not just take selfies on certain platforms where we are with those decision makers, but let's bring meaningful services to people in our townships. One thing that I love about Easter is they have the SACI, South African Arts something incubation program in Easter, ran by Freddie and Beth Arendse. And so SACI says the following: we need to normalize access. Access mustn't be exclusive to those who live there, to those who have access in those communities. But normalizing access means a David Klali must be able to identify a designer in Rege Park. So we got him on board.
But you're pushing it back to the guys that have access. I'm saying someone is sitting now and there's
this is what I'm saying.
Oh, you're
for those of us who have access, we need to ensure that access
gets to the people,
is within the community.
But now the person we bring access.
The person who doesn't have access, you do have access. Young people, the same way you go on YouTube and TikTok to go and search for hairstyles and this and hack that, you can also search online for opportunities to grow your skill. In order for me to be a good drone pilot, a good photographer, I'm not going to dim my light. I charge a client for a good product. Minimum 40 minutes a day, 45 minutes a day. I'm on YouTube. I'm on online lessons to grow myself, to expand my knowledge. I'm on the right platforms. I cannot, we cannot be taking selfies at pubs and venues and food on our social media. I need to take pictures of something meaningful that will unlock a door somewhere else. With this age of information is the click of a button. Wi-Fi. Even if you go to your local library, you can log in on the Wi-Fi. I was driving through one of the towns in the Roodepoort. I was so impressed with the young people at the library. And I said, yeah, uncle, there's very Wi-Fi hotspot. It's not that they want to read.
So there is access, there are opportunities.
Walk to your closest, like your youth development agency's branch. Knock on their door. Kick down doors. Go and sit there again tomorrow. Go for training. They have free trainings, capacity building. So many of us, we don't want to do the hard work when it comes to compliance. Get your documents sorted out. It's 250 rand to register the company. Well, if you're going to charge me and ask me and other people, we will charge you a little bit more because it's my time, it's my internet, it's me doing the admin for you. Go and sit at SARS, get your tax clearance certificate, go to your bank and open a small business account with a 50 rand or 100 rand or a portion of the 350 a month you get from your SASSA grant. And start small. I didn't own cameras and all those kind of things. I hired cameras, so I take your deposit of 70%, I charge deposit 70%, then I go and pay for the rental. And now the profit, that 30% kind of, you know, will come when
you send the product.
No. The day when I arrive, you pay my balance. Because what I've discovered, I sit with your product.
Before I come, you pay me 70%.
Yeah,
Now
your booking fee is 70%, right? Which is about 30 days. That's confirmation of the project. And then on the day when I walk in there,
you pay the 30%.
if that SMS doesn't come through, I don't switch on.
So not when you deliver the drone footage or the photos
you know what I've
or
discovered?
whatever.
What I've discovered. Now I said with the footage, you don't have the money. Now I said for 2 months with the footage. And I'm going to charge you for storage.
For storage. How do
of
you
your product?
What's your deposit? 70%? 50%?
Yeah.
50%. No, that's good.
You know, and I need to charge you for every item here. That's a recording here. Because for me to switch on a drone, and that drone takes off, every time it's 200 rand towards the battery.
So you can't use it, or you have to recharge the battery.
Hey?
You have to recharge the battery.
Yes, and I working my costing for charging 200 rand for charging all the
Don't
equipment.
give Theo ideas now
It's
to
not-
charge us more now,
It's very important. They say, why is it so expensive? Do you think these batteries charge themselves? A portion of that goes to the electricity.
That's Wi-Fi.
Because you think WeTransfer is free. The 2 gig comes from where? On WeTransfer. I have to pay that Wi-Fi. A portion of that goes towards that. A portion of that goes towards insurance. A portion of that goes towards upgrading my equipment. He knows 128 gig, 300 megabytes per second. Memory card is about 4,000. There's one. In my R3 is one. In my R6 is one. It's 3 memory cards.
Just
But anyway, the bottom line is we pay for what we want. We pay for what we ask.
pay for value.
Pay for value.
Pay
You
for
know,
value. If you want peanuts, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
You know, and I like it when someone says, okay, I'm not ready now, let me put some money away because I value your work. I'm not going to even question your invoice. I'll come back to you. There's many people who's like that. I'm not saying our people are stingy. No, there's a few, like the few who's on the ground who prefer to put stays on the ground. So, but we pay for value. Young person, upskill yourself. People want to learn photography. I say, yes, do you have a camera? Come, shadow, come and shoot with me. This is how we train. Or let's set up a Zoom, let's go through the functions. Take your camera everywhere, take family functions, take whatever. Sometimes we do freebies. Sometimes we do freebies for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I went to APSA Small Business Market Day. APSA had that event in Campus Square a few weeks ago. One of the companies, they're doing a roadshow for awareness in October. They booked me as a photographer for 10 days. That's good money.
Yeah.
Bills are paid till December. Let me just tell you about that invoice.
That's a nice one. I wouldn't mind my bills being paid till December.
Yeah, well, my bills are not yours. My budget. But yeah, so definitely. And continue to sharpen the saw.
Mm.
Proverbs 20:20, I think, as iron sharpens iron,
Irons.
one brother sharpens another,
Mm.
brother and sister.
So your advice is get up from your
Comfort zone.
as go see.
Go see. Go volunteer. You don't have skills. People ask for prior
Work
skills.
for me.
Go and volunteer at the church. Go and volunteer at the creche in your community or any NGO and get some workplace experience there. It's walking distance from home.
Mm.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why, what it is. And I come from a classified colored community in our communities, when I talk about our people, that when we have events, and specifically in our colored communities, 50 people pitch. I go to a black community. It's full. People stand outside.
Why is that?
Oh, there's a particular attitude that I've seen and experienced, and it's culture amongst some of our kids of entitlement.
And victims, they feel that.
You know, victim. You know, somebody shared a joke the other day. Leer maar laat ons 'n kind, jy kan môre weer 'n werk gaan soek. A parent who says that, you know, get up early, man. Even if you're unemployed, get into a system, into a routine, daily
Discipline.
routine, right? So my heart goes out to our people who are unemployed and who feel hopeless and frustrated. And you know, the media tells you, just feed people enough this kind of information, they start believing you.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
tell a
state
lie
capture.
over and over.
It's like state capture. You know, the Guptas, they were cheaper than Glencoe, 3 times cheaper than Glencoe. They had like 14% of Eskom. So the other 76%, who were they?
No one talked about it.
No, they won't. Because my proximity to pigmentation determines how I report on crime in South Africa. Can I say that again?
Yeah, you must say that again.
Huh?
Say that again.
Jou vel kleur.
Yeah, say it now.
So yeah, it's
Your
about how
proximity
we
to?
to pigmentation determines how we report to South Africa in South Africa.
Explain that to us.
A good example, that young man who had a tiff with Minister of Police somewhere in the township,
Cameron.
screaming, Ian Cameron. Anyway, screaming, going on, bloody boy, oh, it's just government is so useless, you know. He was the head of AfriForum Security, number 1. Number 2, 2 weeks ago, allegedly 2 weeks ago, you talk about I think a police officer was doing something, or a politician, he was raping someone, but that politician is currently in court. But a white Domini and his wife, they were grooming children sexually, right? He didn't report about that. And that was now a couple of weeks ago in Brits. The wife is still the principal of the school. The Domini is still the Domini. And that was their children, 14-year-old boys. So how we report on crime, it has to do with, it's sad to say it, that lady from, please cut all this, man, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Go for it. Are you saying who owns the media companies?
Yeah, we report on crime. For example, that lady from Eskom, executive, that was exposed for 500 million bribe. Remember? Karen Pillay, advocate
Yes,
Karen Pillay.
The Indian lady.
The Indian lady.
Yes.
So, are we going to talk about Fidelity, who got the 3.2 billion security contract, who paid her the 500 million? Are you going to talk about him? Are you going to report him?
No, don't follow that story.
Who's the owner of Fidelity? But anyway,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And that was not even a 3-year contract.
Selective.
Yeah. Like, for example, you know, this discourse where we find ourselves. Read about what evergreen contracts are. Those who benefited before 1994, they've got 100-year contracts with Eskom. And all these
I heard about
parastatals.
that.
You know, and it's true. It's true. And so, in our world where we find ourselves, there are opportunities. As entrepreneurs, we create opportunities.
As entrepreneurs, we create opportunity. You don't
Yes,
wait for them.
You come with a solution.
You don't wait for them.
Yeah, what is the solution you need here?
Where there's
And
a
make
po-
money from that solution. There's something we call we call it social entrepreneurs. Social entrepreneurs is make money while you do good. Social entrepreneurship says see the need, how can I address the need, how can I fix it? There's a young man in Kailicha, I think, a couple of years ago, more than 5 years ago, he saw that people on chronic medication, elderly people, it's very painful for them, people with certain illnesses who can't sit too long in the clinic. He got himself a bicycle and his friends. Then he pays his friends on bicycle to go and collect those people's medication from the clinic. Then it grew so big that he signs a deal with the provincial, regional, and district hospitals with the client's copy of ID and the medication prescription. He goes and collects, he charges the client 50 rand per delivery. That Oma saves on being dropped, petrol money or taxi fare, also have to babysit a grandchild and have to buy something to eat for the grandchild and herself. Now you can sit at home, that boy come and deliver your medication from the public hospital. Go and collect for you. So there's lots of opportunities where people can
solve problems. Find a problem and solve it. So you make profit
from solving problems.
Solving problems.
Yeah.
To find a problem.
Instead of these guys in other countries to fly in a whole filming crew to South Africa to come and capture certain things that they need for intro of a movie or somewhere in a movie or a township or a rural community, I can just go with my camera or my drone, take some pictures, shots there, sell it to them in US dollars.
Send it to Netflix or
send it to whoever.
To Prime or whatever.
Yeah, thanks to people like Zayn, yes, never make his on the line. Used me for one of his movies to deliver some drone content, some snippets. Zayn hasn't seen my work, he believes in me. He wants to see me excelling, growing, prospering. And the brother say, hey, we come. It's true.
Sure. Good news.
So yeah, there's a lot. And those of us who have access, let's give access to others. Let's not be stingy and selfish. Give and it will be given back to you. Press down, shaken together, running over.
Because we don't like working with people that we know, or people from the community.
Why not?
No, I'm just saying that's normally the. I'd rather find someone else. I'd rather work with
I don't have to come and make money in Boxburg. Here's a photographer, I'm going to look at his work. He's a videographer. Why can't I give business to him? I'm going to take a fee from you, yes, because I source the work, but I'm going to pay you. So I don't have to come all the way and run the show. There are many other good photographers out there. Some people are inclined to my style of photography. Some people are inclined to his style of photography. It's a preference of the client. I was really blessed by being invited by, like Reze Bonnet, he's a fashion photographer. He was Naomi Campbell's photographer and all these people. When Dr. Motsepe booked him for the Motsepe Foundation Entrepreneurship Awards, the prize giving of Banyana and some fashion shoot, he called me, come shoot with me. We share. And that for me was good on my CV.
Collaborate.
We collaborate. There are days when we compete, but there are days when we collaborate and complement.
Yes, collaborate, complement.
So,
collaborate, complement.
In our industries, there's always that, you know. And let's share what I've learned.
That's good advice.
Let's share with one another. I'd like to share with another photographer. You know, how do we show up at events? You cannot come to a formal event with a jeans that's been washed 2 weeks ago. Respect yourself, respect your client, respect your industry. And some of our guys, they do that. They are sloppy, they are untidy sometimes. And before we get to the invoice, let's look at self-development.
Before we get to the invoice, look at self-development.
You know, people say you are a walking CV. You are a walking CV. Before you open your mouth, somebody, just by looking at you, has made up their mind to a certain extent. When you heard maybe of me, maybe you did some research.
I thought your name was a suit.
Because my CV.
Because of your CV. And I'm here, I'm on a construction site. I also wear a suit now. I said, hey,
depending, You know, Khoibrew also had a training company. So,
forgive me.
Yeah.
So it looks silly now if I wore a suit. Look how you came with a cap and a looking open.
Yeah, I know my brand. Jocelyn told me, this guy, you know, he's got an influence. He's got a market out there. I said, okay, let me go and put on my Gauteng Enterprise propeller sponsored branding. Thank you, Gauteng government. And it's hard work. It's knocking on a lot of doors. It's following up on emails. Sometimes people misplace your things. I promise you it happens.
So you want the business, so you follow up.
Keep your evidence, keep your engagements. Whatever they say
advice.
to you in a session where you fill out a form, let them respond in an email with that information. And you confirm. I confirm hereby that we will next week do this, that, and the other. Here are my documents. It's
Persistence.
It took me almost a year to get some equipment from CEDA, Small Enterprise Development Agency. You know, I had to knock on doors, I had to do this, I had to fill in this, I had to run around. Oh, they want it like this and that format, they want the business plan like this. You just have to, I'm not even going to fight if you misplace my things. Oh, by the way, here's that last email where I sent the information. I know you were busy, you might have missed it somewhere.
Yes.
Rather, I'm not going to tell anyone about uselessness. No, we are human. And what I've realized, some of these institutions, we are thousands of entrepreneurs. That's a staff complement of maybe 200 people.
They flooded with these. We all want.
Yeah, we all want.
That's good advice. Keep following up. Because you know what?
Keep following up.
I've had this conversation a while ago with someone. And this guy, someone says, listen, I'm going to do this, we're going to do this. And then he waits. And he never follows up. And then he gets offended if that guy didn't come back. But I'm saying you want the business. That man is busy. You are not on his mind 24/7. You want something from him. You phone, SMS, email, fax, inbox, whatever it is.
There you go.
He's busy. You are not on his mind 24/7. You want the business.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of people, they feel that I've asked once. He hasn't come back to me.
Or they've ignored me. They read my.
I'm
at fault sometimes.
He doesn't like me. And especially as colored people.
I told message sometimes.
Because we forget. WhatsApps go down the.
Oof. And sometimes you're driving, you saw, but you're not reading.
Yes.
Now they think you blue tick. Why you not? I said, let's not fight.
I wanted to take
but
that
off. I have a value before tonight, before I go to bed. I will respond.
I also try. I try, Shane.
You know?
Sometimes I don't. Because if I don't do it tonight, tomorrow's new WhatsApps, you further down the...
Yes. Let me respond and say, listen here. And I tell people, follow up. If I've promised something, please follow up.
Yeah.
Take
please
responsibility to follow up. You're not a bother.
No, we do that. Especially us with each other. No, I asked Micardo. He said he was going to send it. He didn't send it, so he doesn't want to help me. So and then I just move on, and I'm offended, and I just...
Yes. But back to the township economy.
Back to the township economy.
We can make money here. There's something they call the TRIP. It's a township rural entrepreneurship program where they help to formalize informal business. Like the guy who sells fruit and vegetables, or the lady. Those who have Shishanyama, they also Shishanyama butcheries and those kind of things. They help fund it. They start with about, I think, 10,000 rand, 7,000 loan and 3,000 grant, going up depending on that, your income. But please make sure money goes into your bank account. Please make sure that you have that Ikoka or whatever machine where people can tap. It's just better like that. So please make sure you get some bookkeeping services from somewhere. You know that, like CEDA, like Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, for example. I'm just mentioning those two, Department of Small Business Development. They have those non-financial services. You know how expensive it is to get a bookkeeper, you know.
Yeah.
You know, some people are on the retainer for 2,500 a month.
Yeah, there's actually an accountant that called now, which I have to.
You know?
So
I'm in the Gauteng government's economic developments when Park Star was the MEC in the incubation program, where they have a bookkeeper that does my monthly bookkeeping, your quarterly management accounts. That is sort of your tax bin for you, all those kind of things.
So there's all these. We're going to have to get. Can we get you back?
Tasneem is then from the East End. Tasneem is the new MEC. Yes, next time.
We've eaten an hour now. We've eaten hour. Micardo's given great advice. He's showed you where to get the opportunities. But now, where do we get hold of you if you want to use your services?
There you go.
Where do
Instagram, TikTok, KhoibrewMzanzi, and my Facebook page, KhoibrewMzanzi. I think events photography or events photos or events. Yes. So yeah, and that number is my business number.
We're gonna put all the handles on the screen now. Go click, check him up on Instagram. What else?
TikTok, and Facebook.
TikTok. You're
Yeah.
on TikTok too. What do you do on TikTok? I'm not on TikTok. I'm a bit nervous for TikTok.
Oh, I thought this is about these people doing the Milli Vanilli moves,
Yeah.
by themselves, but dance moves. But there's some beautiful, thought-provoking content and content creators on TikTok platforms that I really like to follow. In the organizational development space or transformation space, I'm working on diversity management, so I like to follow a lot of people in that space, because there's some amazing stuff that's out there. So a lot of people are visual. So when I came in here with my GoPro, I captured this. This is going to my TikTok handle that I've been here.
Yeah.
Small things like that. It just creates traction of your business.
Yeah.
I will do a shoot or some video work. I will put together a 1-minute video, and it goes to my TikTok account and Facebook account.
But this content creation is quite a lot of work, eh?
Oh,
It's a massive amount of work. I thought it's just a nice thing. It's like a full-time job.
it's a lot of work. I try to at least 3 days a week make sure that there's info on my social media. And I was just taking a simple video of the president of Russia and our president in a meeting room, a photo session. You just hear all those cameras, and I said to my viewers, listen to that. Imagine a wedding photographer comes with that kind of noise. That's why you need to use KhoibrewMzanzi, because of our technologies in our cameras that's noiseless. There you go.
There we go, guys. KhoibrewMzanzi. Micardo Cupido, conversations with entrepreneurs that inspire and experts to admire. Follow him, use his services. We're gonna get him back. You can see he likes politics. He has views and
I'm
points
just passionate about my people,
We're starting
my country.
Yes, man. You know what we want to start? A current
Yes,
event where we talk
yes.
about some of these issues. Now, obviously, I don't know much about these things, but I want to get you guys on that have a bit of experience, have a bit of knowledge, and we just talk about, okay, this is happening. What's your thoughts? What are some of the solutions? Can we
Yes.
do that? Maybe once a month.
Absolutely. And if you're from this
Once
area,
a
for those of you from this area and you're using my services, 10% of my profits goes to a crash or ECD center they identify from Rega Park or this area. So yes, that's our contribution in giving back to our local communities.
Praise the Lord. So that's more than a motivation. So, Micardo, thanks for joining us.
Thank
We
you for the
appreciate your
opportunity to
time.
share.
It was fun. We learned.
I
we
made
got
some new
value.
friends here.
We enjoyed it. Guys, see you next week.
Thank you for the opportunity. Take care.